Afternoon, everybody. Firstly, Fassi is injured and he's out for quite some time. And I think we were quite honest about Damien. He was struggling a bit with form, and we thought bringing him closer to the game at 12, where it can just be a little bit more instinctive. That's the honest truth. We thought just bringing him back into it, and then into the game they got an injury, and he moved to 15, and he was just as comfortable. So, he's done many great things for us. People think he's young, but he's won World Cups and British and Irish Lions series, and so I think he's back to top form. Sometimes you just need one game to get you back there, and I think it's quite an obvious choice with Fassi. That one is always, I think people start thinking I'm just saying the things because it's a nice answer, but we really think that our players are really close to each other, and I know a lot of people try to sometimes say, no, not our people, but that we don't know who's our best team, and we like to know who's not our best team, and the guys are really competing well. We've given a little bit of continuity. This is a crunch game, but last weekend was a crunch game, and the previous game was a crunch game, and it will be like that for the rest of the year. We're only halfway now. So Mani played really well, but Sasha were awesome when he played there, and until he got the head knock, and he was good at 15 as well. He was there for a little while. And Andre is not in this team. We hope if things goes our way this week. It will be nice to change a little bit next week again, but first so Mani played awesome, but Mani's on the bench, and if things goes great, maybe give him a run and move Sasha during the game to 15 again, and maybe Gaza back to 12 and Andre to loose forward. So whatever happens in the game, let's hope it works out so we can experiment a little bit with a lot of respect for Argentina at the same time. There was a long time when Malcolm played off the bench and Bongi started, and Malcolm came and finished games and really changed the game for us, and there wasn't much to pick between Bongi and Malcolm. At this stage, I'll get to the World Cup now. At this stage, Bongi unfortunately had some illness in the family, and he's only really joined us now in the last weeks or so we will just get him up to speed again. But Sam Martinez did well, and Jan Hendrik covers too fast as well. And the same with Wilco, Wilco definitely, we all know, I think he's one of the world's best scrummers. Thomas is technically very good, but as you say, his mobility over the field, covering ground, handling that fast pace, which Argentina brought and New Zealand brought to us, and Argentina will bring. And then we, rightly or wrongly, we feel Wilco really brings that edge for us in scrums, but also then in general play when the game's a little bit slower. Well, it's both teams are obviously in the run for the rugby championship. I think they were really, really good. Lions game, Australia, both Australia games, I thought they could have won. And you've gone to Pomi and Filippo. I mean, he's my age. We're the same era. Lobbe is a great coach. I think he does the line-outs. They've got a high ball coach. I think Kingsley is his name. He's the Irish guy, and then they've got a New Zealander in there. Lynn, I think is his surname. So they've got a lot of experience and different cultures, and their team play all over the world. And you've got them organized, energetic, young guys, fearless, and with trying to, they will probably come and try and score 3 tries against us to try and be in the mix for the rugby championship. I think earlier this year we also had Damien and Kanan together. I'm not quite sure. I think so, but Damien and Lucanio was a combo at one stage. Lucanio is coming back to URC, he's playing, he's in the mix in a week or so. Kanan and Andre is a great combo. We enjoy Andre off the bench. But if you just look at the changes we've made, it's mostly injury forced, and we thought, Kanan really, when he's close to the ball, and I feel also make a little bit more instinctive calls where he doesn't have to stand there on a wing and work with the fullback and so on. I think he's again, like Damien, sometimes a really good instinctive player. And to have Damien Dalende come in whilst Andre Estres and I'm missing out, Jesse will play for us a lot more. So it's nice to try the combo shares. Now, we love Argentina. I know Augustine Pichot is a friend of mine. We're very close friends. And they've always stood by us when we need them, and I think we've stood by them when they needed us. As I said, I think our countries are very similar in certain ways. They've got a team, I know their club system is getting better. I wrongly last year said they don't have a good club system and their players are playing all over the world, and one of the guys explained to me how the club system worked there. But their players are they're sacrificing a hell of a lot. They didn't even go back from Australia back home. They came straight here, and they're all over the world anyway before they come into camp. So there's also people who's desperate. They're not just on the rugby field, but also off the rugby field. So as long as we can play against Argentina and with Argentina, and you see what they're doing this year. I know they're 5th or 6th on the log, but they can beat any team. They beat us last year, and as I said to previous answer, they're one of the teams since I've been involved 2018 that gave us one of the biggest hiding, I think 36-12 or something like that, away from home. So no, we love playing against them, and we think we're very similar in how we are as people. Yeah, I think the team we picked was definitely with Argentina in mind to try and win this game. They're speedy, they're bouncy. Sinti's a 7th player, Chocobaras. I mean, the Alvarez, I don't know how to say his surname exactly. I think he's back. The 9 is unbelievably pacey. The wingers are both pacey. The fullback is so experienced. And they really got a well-balanced team and lineouts and everything. So we thought this team that we picked, not just for continuity from last week, even if we lost last week, I think the mix of this team, obviously, would have loved to have Luet still in the mix and was a big ask, should we pick Sos or not, and Franco in this game or not. But yeah, we think the youth that they have and the willingness to play from deep and the way they are aerially, it's very similar to how we played at one stage, but yeah, they've got also this cutting-edge speed where there's a lot of 7s players. So I think this team is very much picked to try and beat Argentina. No, Stephen, it is. It's never nice being part. I mean, there's guys here that lost against Japan, and we're playing Japan a little bit later this year. We couldn't go and break the Eden Park hoodoo. But then we managed to put a big score on New Zealand. So these mini milestones sometimes get in the way of one's focus. And the realistic as it is stands today. Argentina beat us last year there. I know we've beaten us the first time here in South Africa, and a lot of our guys were part of that. But for us, it's a team that we think where they are now in 2018. We were probably there, and the next year we won the World Cup. So this is a very dangerous Argentinian team, and if we worry about when guys got some mental scars because they beat us before, I think all of us have been involved with them beating us. So no, we try not to chat too much about that, but we know it's a real threat from their side, Stephen. To know what the score is. Yeah. No, obviously we'll have a look at that. I mean, even at before the game in Wellington. Well, just before we had our team talk, I was on the phone checking, because it does give you extra motivation if you know you're still in the mix or not. And with that last try Australia scored, I think we would have been, they got 2 league points there. And but you could tell the players before the game, boys, we're in the mix. We win this game, Rugby Championships live. So we will definitely look at the score and what the score is there. But that wouldn't make a difference in our approach and how we've trained so far, last week, Friday, Saturday, and what we did yesterday and today. So tomorrow's our last day. We really train, except for no captain's practice. But of course, we'll watch the score and maybe get a little bit more motivation and know exactly what we have to do in the game. No, we also get it wrong. We've won one, lost one, Australia, then won one, lost one to All Blacks. And I think the challenge with, not for me to speak on behalf of Argentina, it's just my opinion. I think the challenge is when you get players from all over the world and you have a squad like that and you get an injury here or there, you're not together all the time. You can't get them into little camps. I know Filippo is a smart man. He's a real doctor, not a doctor like I am. He's a real doctor. And he's got, he's got Kingsley, the Irishman, going around teaching the guy eyeball where they play for the Caps. I know, there's also the New Zealander Lynn in there that does the attack. So I think he's getting there. For us, it's nervously we've been getting there really close. But getting players from all over and coordinating that is probably the biggest challenge, because we've got about 14, 15 players who doesn't play in South Africa. And it's tougher to manage them within South Africa, where you can just draw guys into a camp, align them. So I think alignment's probably, but he's getting it right, so I mustn't talk too much about that.